Have you ever felt like you're full of potential, brimming with talent, but somehow success just isn't happening fast enough? You see others getting ahead, and you start to wonder, am I doing something wrong? You might be missing one crucial ingredient, and it's not more talent or a better idea, it's patience. Today, we're going to talk about a paradox that trips up so many brilliant people. Talent is what gets you in the door. It's the spark that creates opportunities. But it's patience that keeps those opportunities alive. Think about it. Your skills might land you the job. Your creativity might launch the project. But what happens when you hit the first, second, or 10th roadblock? This culture of impatience is the silent killer of dreams. It convinces us that if something isn't working right now, it's a failure. We're told to fail fast, but we often forget the second part of that advice. Learn and adapt. And learning takes time. Imagine planting a seed. You can have the best, most genetically superior seed in the world. That's your talent. You water it, give it sunlight, and then what? Do you dig it up every day to see if it's growing? Of course not. You trust the process. You know that growth is happening under the surface, invisibly, before you ever see a sprout. Your progress is the same. Impatient decisions are like digging up that seed. You destroy the very progress you were so desperate to see. Let's break down why patience isn't just about waiting, but an active, strategic advantage. First, patience allows for deep learning. When you rush, you skim the surface. By slowing down, you give yourself the mental space to analyze, to see patterns, and to truly master your craft. Every setback, every delay is a lesson in disguise, but you can only learn it if you're patient enough to study it. Think of a master craftsman like a luthier building a violin. They don't rush the process. They spend years learning the properties of wood, how it bends, how it resonates. They take their time, carving and shaping with incredible precision. An impatient person might slap some wood together and call it a violin, but it won't sing. The master's patience is what infuses the instrument with its soul. Your work is no different. Patience is what transforms good work into great work. We all know about compound interest with money, right? The same principle applies to your skills, your relationships, and your projects. But compounding needs one thing above all else: an uninterrupted runway of time. If you keep quitting and starting over, you're constantly resetting your compound clock back to zero. You make a little progress, get impatient, jump to the next shiny object, and start from scratch again. You never give your efforts the chance to build on each other and reach that magical tipping point where growth becomes exponential. They were patient enough to let their small, consistent efforts compound into something massive over years, sometimes decades. Let's consider a real-world example. J.K. Rowling's manuscript for Harry Potter was rejected by 12 different publishers before one finally said yes. What if she had given up after the 5th rejection, or the 10th? Her talent was undeniable, but it was her patience and persistence that carried her through the sea of rejections. She didn't let impatience destroy the opportunity her talent had created. Another powerful aspect of patience is that it allows for strategic adjustment. The path to any meaningful goal is never a straight line. There will be detours, unexpected challenges, and market shifts. An impatient person sees a detour as a disaster. They panic, make rash decisions, or quit altogether. A patient person sees a detour as new information. They pause, reassess the map, and adjust their course without losing sight of the destination. This is the difference between being reactive and being responsive. Impatience makes you reactive. You're just fighting fires. Patience allows you to be responsive. You're playing the long game. You're not just trying to survive today. You're building a foundation for sustainable, long-term success. You're giving yourself the gift of time to think, time to plan, and time to execute wisely. So, how do you cultivate this superpower of patience? It starts with shifting your mindset. First, fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. If your only source of joy is the finish line, the journey will feel like torture. Find satisfaction in the daily work, in the small wins, in the act of learning and improving. Celebrate the effort, not just the result. Second, set realistic timelines. We often overestimate what we can do in a day, but drastically underestimate what we can do in a year. This builds momentum and makes the long journey feel less daunting. When you see yourself making steady progress, it's easier to be patient. Third, practice mindfulness and recognize when you're feeling impatient. What's triggering it? Is it comparison, fear, external pressure? When you feel that urge to rush or quit, just pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself of your long-term vision. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is nothing at all. Just wait and let the dust settle before making your next move. Remember, the world is filled with talented people who gave up too soon. They had the ideas, the skills, the initial burst of energy, but they lacked the quiet strength of endurance. They let the frustration of the messy middle get the best of them. Don't let that be you. Your talent opened a door. It gave you a chance. Now it's up to your patience to see it through. Embrace the slow burn. Trust the compounding effect of your daily efforts. Learn from your setbacks instead of letting them defeat you. True, lasting success isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. It doesn't reward the fastest, but the wisest. And the wise know when to act and when to wait. Your greatest opportunities are not going to disappear if you take your time. In fact, they will only grow stronger and more stable because you gave them the time they needed to flourish. Thank you so much for watching. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments what you're working on patiently right now. And if you want more content to help you build a meaningful life and career, make sure to subscribe. See you in the next video.